like we're golden.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the Public Site and Building Commission meeting of Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 7:06 p.m. Would you please all join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, and this item on the agenda is public input. And looks like we have a gentleman here.
I'm hanging out,
Oh, so you're just observing.
just observing.
Oh.
today.
Okay, I didn't know if you had an issue.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you for coming. Any other correspondences that we have and copies? Okay. So the next item is the copy of the minutes of our regular meeting of Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Has everybody taken a look at it? Any questions about it? All right, right? Okay, so I make a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes for the Public Site and Building Commission on the meeting of Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Do I hear a second? Second. Second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I abstain. Right, you not. Okay. All right, that's that one. I don't believe we have any new business on that item, so we'll go to the old business. First item is the Bethel High School HVAC upgrade project. Is Rick on? I'm sorry, Kathy, he's not,
Nope.
He's not on yet. I mean, do we want to do the roofs and then come back to that? Will he
Yes.
log on?
Yes, we can. Okay.
Someone wants to join this call.
All right, Jeff, thank you. for
Sorry,
coming.
guys.
No. that's
Yeah, I
okay.
emailed
It might
you.
be
Thank you
him.
very much.
Hold
Okay, so
on.
we'll wait on that.
Wait, just 1 second. Someone wants to come in. I just don't know who it is.
Where do we go for that? Here's the.
Well, usually they pop up on the top. What is it?
I mean, Jen and I can give you feedback on, because some of the stuff, but Rick probably is better if he's here.
Let's see. They're coming in now. So let's see if it's Rick. Or not.
Normally have everything geared up there as a camera. but there's
Separate.
a glitch here tonight, so we're trying.
Assuming
Yeah, I think that's Rick, right?
I think.
Hello, this
Rick.
is Rick.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is
Rick's
Rick.
here.
All right, yeah, Rick's on.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm having some serious issues here.
It's all right. I think everybody's
How's
having
our
tech
week?
issues today.
Realize that?
There must be something going around. Okay, so, Rick, are you ready to give an
Yep.
upgrade?
Yeah, so after our meeting last time, I think I sent out like kind of the agenda and what the meeting that I had with this was actually Jason. The owner was not in that week. I made it very clear to him that we need to be on schedule. We need to make sure we're meeting the dates and kind of came to an agreement, and hopefully he sticks to his schedule. But that being said, on last Saturday, they did arrange for have the crane pick, and all the steel was put in place rather quickly. The crews that they had there did a good job bringing everything up, securing the steel in a hurry, and then getting the equipment, the DOAS units and the others on top of the roof and on top of the steel. The steel was galvanized. They did bolt everything together, so there was no welding on that, but they did have everything prefabbed and ready to go. So that was good news in that. I did follow up with Jason because he was not there. I did stay for most of the lift, not to the completion, but I think they were done. If I had Joey, the site supervisor, email me or text me when he was done, and they were just cleaning up around 12:30, 1:45, I believe. So they started around, I got there about 6:30. They started around 7:30 or so, to get everything put in place. So that was one hurdle that was done. Everything was, secured on the roof, and, they were kind of moving along. So I did, follow up with, Jason on Monday and told him that I needed, their dates and what was happening this week and next. He didn't give it back to me in a schedule format like I was hoping. But he did, they have a number of, kind of milestones, if you would, just to kind of update you on. So, basically, for as far as the baseboards go, by the end of the week, they should have all the baseboards, piped, and, the wiring, he said, is nearly complete. So by, the beginning of next week, we'd be able to get some heat into those rooms. Ductwork fabrication, they have some of the ductwork done, but they're continuing fabrication with final measurements. And that will be started later this week. And, I don't have an end date on that yet, but I've asked him for a, complete schedule to completion. That being said, the electrical panel, as I mentioned, is in. They're starting to install that tomorrow, and, along with all the other, electrical, followed by the VRF equipment, the DOAS units, to get going. As far as substantial completion, he says, I'm just waiting to hear back from Tim, who's their gentleman, I believe. He said, looks right now, but substantial completion by the end of November. So I think the, last formal schedule he had from 9/3, substantial completion was on the 14th. So he's looking like he's pushing out a week or so on substantial completion, but I don't have that in, hard writing and schedule format yet. But, I'm after him on that and hope to have that by the end of this week.
All right, the old schedule, Rick, had, basically 11/21 as the, final, but, so maybe around that time?
Well, their substantial completion was 11/14. Their, demobilization was 11/21. So, yeah, I'm hoping that obviously Thanksgiving is coming up right around that time. So we don't have too many more days after that. So, yeah, that's kind of one of the flies in the ointment. When I asked him for an updated schedule to include A, B, C, D, E, and F, and, he gives me words back rather than, schedule format. So I wasn't happy with that. So I've asked him for a, complete schedule to completion, because we want to make sure that we can get SES in there. We do have the testing, adjusting, and balancing accounted for, but, I just need a little more detail. I was kind of giving him some highlights in what I wanted to have happen. Some of the information that I wanted, but I really want more detail than that.
So Rick, did you say they're starting on the electrical panels?
Yes, tomorrow.
So they've come in? Okay, good.
Yeah, the electrical panels came in. I believe they were in, if I'm not mistaken, right on our last meeting. They were shipped, and they might not have been in, but they were shipped.
Okay.
And then you're saying there could be heat in the building?
By Monday?
But no, but he said the beginning of next week. I'm saying that their beginning of next week is end of day Tuesday. So I'm guessing by Wednesday, probably. And that's me saying that. He gives me a vague beginning of next week. So I don't want to give you the too rosy a picture, but I want to give you more of a realistic picture.
And in one of the emails, you said that the Savemore had been saying that they were going to bring in extra personnel to get things moving along and get caught up. Have they been doing that, and are they moving further?
Well, I'm not there on a regular basis, but I do know that they did bring. I was down there. It was last week with I believe, last week with Tyler, and they did have extra crew in. And I just can't say for sure if that's carried through. But they did say that the piping was going to be complete by the beginning of next week, and now he's telling me this week. So, either he's painting a rosy picture, or they have the people to come in. I don't know if Tyler's on the call, but if he is, he may have a better insight than that.
I don't see Tyler.
He's
Yeah,
not.
he's not here.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
Is there school Monday?
No,
Okay. Will
no,
they,
no, but there is professional learning for teachers.
so will they work on Monday, Rick?
Yeah, they'll work. I know that they've been working during the day up on the roof. So, but then, you know, they won't be able to do their, unless I hear otherwise, they won't be able to do their, you know, hydronic piping inside. But yeah, they will be working Monday, whether it be daytime or nighttime.
I think the weather, they're saying it may rain Sunday, Monday, so they don't finish up on some roof work by Friday, I would assume, Friday, Saturday, whatever. Looks like that would be next week if it's raining hard and if they can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to affect some of the ductwork and some of the electrical that's up there. But as far as the internal piping, that's the controls and the piping inside the building for the most part.
Right. Okay.
Hey, Rick, would you say we're in the finishing stages of the project at this point? There's no other big lead time items or areas that could hit a snag?
Yeah, so correct. Yeah, so my last fly in the ointment was the panels, right? So the panels were delivered, so that was one kind of uncontrollable. That was out of out of sight, out of mind, right? But we're relying on them. But they did come in, so that's good. The fabrication was well underway, and some of it's already completed. They're just need to get manpower and start installing. As far as all the units are up on top, so they don't have the fan units. I believe they're bringing that up when they bring up the ductwork, and so I don't think that. As far as I know, I've been told of no lead time issues at all. So yeah, it's not right now. It's a matter of getting labor and getting things done in a sequential fashion and making sure it's done right.
All right, the fan and the ductwork, I guess some up on the roof and some inside the building. They don't need any cranes or anything for that, do they?
No. I think they have a lift up there, like a lull that can get some of those items up from the front of the building, but no crane work or anything like that to be done.
Okay.
All right.
And then Rick,
I believe. Go ahead.
you talked about getting SES in there. Will they get some remote access too, so they can do some monitoring remotely, or is it all going to be them being there? And
Yeah, I'll have to talk to Joe Tuxbury about that, but as far as I know, they do plan on being on site, and they've been on site to conduct some nature, as well as Kohler Ronan has been on site to conduct some surveys, making sure that everything's being done properly. And I'm providing them all the scheduling information so they see it as it happens. So it's not like they're in a vacuum. They are being made abreast of all the changes that have happened and whatnot. They did want to go out this week because they thought the lift was happening 2 weeks prior, but obviously didn't happen. So I held them off, not to waste a visit. But yeah, I mean, right now, keeping my fingers crossed that because they did do, the crews that they had out there, the steel guys and the crane folks, they're not your everyday people, right? So they're not there every day. But Joey was there with a number of his guys, and they were right on task. So I'm hoping that the same crew and everything's going well. And I did speak to Joey about these timelines, and it seems to concur with what I'm being told by Jason. So, I'm trusting that that's the fact, and I'll keep on them just to make sure that we're on task.
mm-hmm. And then do you have to have any, until you have all the building inspector coming at the final, or are there things they have to do before that?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Jason, see where he is on that, for that, and if he's even called for that yet.
Okay. How's everything with the budget? Everything going along? We don't expect any last minute overruns or?
No, actually, we have a little over 110,000, I believe, of the contingency currently. There's been very few ads. The only ad we had, I think they had a $15,000 contingency, which we still have a couple $1,000s left in. I don't know if it was their lack of organization or what, but we were told there were a couple coming, and then I confirmed with Jason that nope, there's going to be no charge for those that work. So, you know, we look like we're in really good shape as far as the budget goes.
Good, okay. I just have a question. So we have 4 invoices.
Can I ask a question before we jump to that? Rick, I on another call with Geraldine, I just was curious. We had talked about doing another filing with the state through September 30th. Do you know if Geraldine's
Okay.
working on that?
I don't. I can reach out to her tomorrow, though, Christine.
Okay. Because
Okay.
whenever she has it, I can file.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll reach out to her tomorrow. Naturally, after 11 o'clock. but yeah, I'll reach out to her tomorrow and I'll let you know.
Oh, and I wanted to add something. Right now, our builder's risk insurance goes through December 20th. So we should be in good shape with the substantial completion date of November 20th-ish is what I'm hearing. But if it slips much further than that, then we need to talk about extending our builder's risk.
Yeah, no, we should be, I mean, we should be in great shape. If we're not, we've got other troubles too. So, yeah, but if we're going through the middle of December, we need to be out of there by the end of November.
Was it the builder's risk or was it another policy that I thought we confirmed would go to the actual end of the project and not the end of the year? Or am I mistaken?
Was that the USI?
They're both the USI.
I do recall the same thing. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we had that, we asked for that in writing, that it would go until the end of the project.
Is that different?
I can double check that. I mean, they're
Absolutely.
emailing me, Kerma is emailing me about the builder's risk, letting me know that it's going to expire on December 20th and ask me if we want to renew. So, you know, I can double check the paperwork and ask that question.
Yeah, but I think we're going to be, I think we're going to be fine, Jen.
I would check because we had the one invoice that we then paid, and then we had a second invoice that we had to pay.
Yeah.
And had lots of discussion about that, if you recall, and asked them to give us something in writing that said till the end of the project and not till the end of the calendar year. We don't want it to go, the project to go past, because then we'll have issues too with the grant funding. Correct?
Yes.
Can I ask
The
a
dates on
clarifying?
that were funky because I believe the date started like in the summer of last year.
It
I
did.
remember that, and it ended later. So, and the project hadn't even started until 25. So,
Can I ask a question? So are there 2 insurances or is the builder, are we all talking? I just don't know. Or are we talking about just the builder's risk?
No, it's the
One
same,
insurance, but we received 2 different invoices.
Okay.
it's the same insurance. They invoiced us and then they invoiced us a larger amount for a quote.
I remember.
I think a surprise.
Yes.
One was,
Larger,
Yeah, we did.
a larger amount of coverage.
yeah, the initial amount was in the $7,000 range, and then
Yeah.
there was a second amount of like
30,000.
30,000.
30,000. Yeah.
And again, I thought we discussed it quite a bit because the 30,000 number was so large that was the one that was going to go through the project.
So Jen will get clarification.
Correct.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay. Anything else, Rick, that you want to brief us on, or?
No, I think that's kind of all the information I have in a nutshell, but yeah, we'll keep after it and make sure that they kind of live to the schedule. And I hope to have the schedule out to everyone again by, a formalized schedule by the end of the week, if not Monday.
Okay. I just have one question. So we have 4 invoices to approve. I just want to make sure the STV one, that's when you were away, and Carolyn sent that to us. I forget now, did you send an email to me saying that you reviewed that?
Yeah, and typically I don't review them, but I did glance at it at your request, just to say, yeah, that's looks good, because it's kind of like the chicken in the hen house, right? but yes,
Okay, because you did sign off on the other ones and this one,
Because they don't get sent to him.
oh, okay.
They get sent to you.
yeah, I can't sign off on my own invoices.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
They get sent to you and Mark, I think. Right? So that's what I remember. I asked them to start sending them to you instead of me,
Right.
and they go to Mark Dupre.
Okay. All right, so, anybody else have any questions on the project? Okay, so, I have 4 invoices here.
Current ones, right, that we got my email.
Yeah, and I double checked in the last one, so they're all current. Okay, so, I make a motion that we accept, the Conan Roland invoice number 22021.02.01-12 dated 9/30/2025 for PO number, oh, I just read that. Sorry. No, PO number 20231457 in the amount of $3,662.50. Right,
Second,
okay, all in favor?
aye.
Okay. Next one is for SES Mechanical. Invoice number 5501 dated 9/30/2025. For, let me just look again, PO number 25-061 is their project. And it's in the amount of $1,750. I make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next invoice is from Save More Cooling and Heating. Invoice number 18055 dated 9/20/25. On job number 240055-000, rec number 009 in the amount of $181,830. I make a motion that we accept that.
Any discussion, I guess?
Yes?
I know
Well,
we-
let me second it first.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Second.
I guess on that, I know we discussed that last week. Has that work been done now? Like, wasn't there a question last meeting where we wanted to make sure we weren't like
Yeah, so if I can just comment on that. So I mentioned about the pencil rec that came in initially. After looking at the pencil rec and the work that hadn't been done, we actually took about $174,000 off their request and cut it down to that number, because the cranes hadn't been done, the steel hadn't been done, but everything on there, I did review myself. I was on site on Saturday to, part of the purpose there is to review what was done on the roof. And, I did review it with Craig from Kohler Ronan, and he agreed that work, that amount was fair for what they were charging. So I did knock it down basically in half and sent it back to him and had him redo it.
Okay, and so that's that 181 number.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it was up, I think, it was 3 and change or 4 and change in the initial pencil rec. So
Okay, thanks. I'm good then.
Usually
Yep.
either contractor or construction manager starts out with what said a pencil rec, and it goes to either the project manager or Tony Rec. And they look at it along with the engineer or architect and make sure that what they're asking for has been already done or is on site of its materials, et cetera. And they will ask for it to be lowered if what they're saying they've done or what they're saying is on site isn't correct.
We had some discussion last week, or
Yeah.
last meeting about
Right.
that, so
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure, obviously, Rick's on top of it, so.
Okay, and the last invoice is from.
We have to
We have
approve
to
that now.
approve
Oh,
that.
sorry,
We gotta vote.
we have to vote on that?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed. And the last invoice is from STV, excuse me.
Another STD?
Oh, this was the,
Oh, that's the one.
yeah, this is the one that,
Okay,
Uh,
that
Joe
we
said-
didn't do last time. Got
right,
it.
because it came in late and
Yep.
wasn't supposed. Okay, so, invoice number 900356766 dated 9/11/2025 for project 21-22941. This is voucher number 11 in the amount of $4,160.10. I make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passed. Thank you. Okay, I guess that's it then, Rick. So we're looking forward to a revised schedule, maybe by the end of, maybe by Friday or early next week. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Else have any comments that they want to add on that? Okay, thank you, Rick. Appreciate
Thanks. I
it.
apologize for being late. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rick.
Take care. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the BHS roof project. We attended, Tom, Nancy, and myself attended the Board of Selectmen meeting last night in the general purpose room. And we were going to,
With Dr. Carver
oh,
and
yes,
Tyler.
yes, yeah, with the Board of Ed staff. And we were on the agenda to brief them on the approved bid from Silver Petroselli and Associates. And because of the public comment session overran almost 2 hours, I guess, it was tabled for the next Board of Selectmen meeting, which will be in what, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. So we will present it at that time.
So,
So,
go ahead.
so I was in and out of the office today, but I had called down. So that meeting is not until, gosh, where I have the date right here. I'm just trying to find it. It's going to really push it out a lot because the Board of Finance meets next Tuesday night, and then they wouldn't meet again until I think it's the 21st, correct?
Yes, the 21st would be the next regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
Right. And then the Board of Finance, I don't meet until November 19th, correct?
No, it would be the 11th.
Okay. Well, that's not as bad.
Look, we asked you last night about tabling and either having a special meeting or waiting, because if there's some time constraint things, we gotta push for a special meeting.
Yeah.
And I wanted to defer to Jen on that because, I mean, we're already beyond the time per the bid documents. Correct, Jen? I don't know. I guess, do you want me to request a special meeting, or are we okay waiting? I guess that was my only question.
My opinion is it'd be more efficient if we could schedule a special meeting. I mean, I don't know if there's other agenda items that would warrant it, but I think it would help expedite.
But we would have to do it before the 14th, or which is next Tuesday night, right? Or Wednesday night?
Which means tomorrow, and there's not enough time to
Post it.
post it.
Yeah, so it would require a special meeting of both the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance, which I'm not sure that they're going to do. Let me talk to Dan tomorrow, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because then we're talking about, we're at the holidays and, I don't know.
And we did, like, after you left, we talked a little bit when they were talking about tabling, because you had said, oh, no big rush, and we thought, okay, fine, we can.
Yeah.
Because we were trying to get it, that we were ready to do it right then. Of course, then they let more people speak, so.
Yes.
It went on for another half hour. And I was thinking we wanted to get it on for the 14th, but we have to remember Monday, the building's closed.
Oh,
So-
that's right.
The agenda would have to be, it's a special meeting, doesn't it have to be posted 48 hours? 24?
No, I thought it was 24, but I'll double check.
48 for a special.
If it's 48 for a special, then we can't do it unless they're
No.
in on Saturday.
Yeah.
Can we schedule it for the morning of the 14th?
That could be done.
Oh, they might do it right before the Board of Finance meeting. That's a good question. But we still would need to post it, though. We wouldn't have enough time, right, Kathy?
Still could post it tomorrow sometime.
Well, you could post it tomorrow, Thursday, Friday.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to, if you might be able, it might be 24 or 48 hours. You
So
might
let
be
me
able,
let me ask Dan in the morning and I'll email the committee if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did realize, but it didn't seem like last night it was going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
He's just given everything else that was going on. So, okay, I'll find out. So there's really nothing else with the project, correct?
Right. And I think there, you've got, we have to wonder, I suppose, if there were a bunch of things on the agenda last night that they did go through because they were somewhat quick. I mean, Eric was there to do some stuff and
Okay.
Janice, Chris Jenick. And then they went into special session or executive session because they had some contract things to negotiate. So
Okay.
there are things that they need to get to sooner rather than waiting until their regular meeting on the 21st.
Okay.
So it's definitely worth checking.
Yeah, and it might be great if they did them one right after another.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, especially if they needed to get some stuff done.
Yeah. So let me check in the morning and I'll let the committee know.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, thank you, Dr. Carver. On that.
Yeah, and I think your letter that you wrote, I think is still, we don't have to do anything with that. It's fine.
No,
Unless you
no,
want
it's fine.
this one on the shared drive or when that you sent out, that's just signatures. I don't know if you want signatures on
The
it.
only thing would be the date, is the date on the top of the letter for yesterday's meeting? That's the only thing.
No, it just has the date that she wrote the letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
September 19th, I think.
No, 25th.
No, I changed it to changed it to the day after the committee met. I drafted it the week before and then I realized I should have dated it the day after the committee met last time to approve it.
Mhm.
So I don't think any dates need to be changed.
Okay.
All right, so I'll let you know.
Okay, and the Board of Finance hasn't put up an agenda yet, so there's still time to get into that. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Dr. Carver. Thank you.
thank you, Dr. Carver. Thank you, Jen.
Right, Jen? Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, the next is the animal shelter. Right now, we just have table. We don't have any, more guidance on that, but John Match did post a lot of information onto the shared drive for that. Potential available town sites, some drawings and specs and everything. So, that'll be there for a future item. The
Okay,
next
and
is the-
hey, Roger.
Oh, yes, Joe.
Oh, I just wanted to let you know, I'm also in the moment, I know, I'm pulling together a short list of sites to look at. I should have that for you guys sometimes in the next week or two. So I'll upload that to the drive.
Oh, great. No, thank you very much. That's very good. Progress on that. I'm just making that note. Okay, so.
And I'll send an email to everyone when I upload the documents. It's just 6 or 7 sites that I've found, and I'm putting together some information about each.
Great, okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, the next is the highway garage roof replacement, which we approved 2 bids. That will be going to the Board of Finance meeting next Tuesday, the 14th. Eric is here, I guess, to add any more information. or-
Yeah, there's a few things I wanted to discuss. So Nancy and I were talking at the Board of Selectmen meeting tonight and thinking about, we should figure out what we want to say. I should note, I'm going to be out of town next week, so I won't be in person. I think John will be here in person. I will try to call in. I think I'll probably be able to call in tonight. The first thing is I think they have all they need in terms of attachments and so forth for the meeting. They have the 2 proposals, the Tarantino architecture and the Torello engineering. So that's really all they're supposed to be voting on is approving that money because the board of selectmen already referred it to them. In my experience, however, that when it comes from going to the board of selectmen and the board of finance, I find you kind of have to start over from zero. So I would be willing to bet that they're going to ask things like, oh, didn't we do this project 8 years ago? Why are you bringing this up? You know, they're going to ask, oh, Brad, isn't there funding? Do they have funding already?
Yeah.
All these questions that we've already gone through. So
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if we have to answer those questions again, most likely.
Yep.
So what I was thinking, I was looking at this presentation that John and I gave to you guys, it was June 25th, this PowerPoint. And I thought it might be good to go through sort of an abbreviated version of this, just to kind of give them the history from the beginning. Not everything, definitely not the technical stuff, but if you think that's.
Do it at the meeting or send it to them ahead of time?
No, I wouldn't send it to them ahead
Okay.
of time, just do it at the
Yeah.
meeting, just kind of go through it. I mean, if you think that's a good idea, it might just head off some of the questions we might have. Anyway.
Yeah,
Just for added to the Board of Finance meetings?
he usually does, yeah. So he can give that.
I mean, you already-
background, they had some money,
Yeah,
how it was
yeah.
spent, and it's too
Right.
late, and, yeah.
'Cause I really wouldn't be surprised if they asked that again.
And
Um,
they should be, you know, I'm just saying.
No, yeah.
You know, I thought we allocated something years ago and, you know, what happened?
Or they might not know, because they weren't
Right,
around then.
yeah. So there's new people on the.
Yeah. So if you're okay with that, then, I'll just, I kind of look through this as maybe there were 20 slides that we presented to you. I would say maybe we'll go through like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't want to go into the details of different roof replacement options and structural options.
Right.
But just the history and how this kind of started and stopped a couple times. That would answer a lot of questions that they have.
Okay.
Trying to anticipate.
Yeah.
Yes. Talking about cost estimates, I'm sure they'll ask what you guys had asked. Well, is the architect going to give us cost estimates when they get to the design? So
Right.
a lot of things.
Yeah. In my experience with both the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen, you can come to them with a proposal after they sign us a project. And then you get the initial, either we need this much to do some design, or we need this much to do an assessment. They always say, well, what's the whole project gonna cost? We're not gonna
Yeah,
know
I
until
know.
we get
Well,
that.
that's what this is
I
saying, it is
know.
for,
I
yeah.
know.
So you have
That's
to
a
really
very
say.
common.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You always-
it is.
I mean,
Which is-
and we say, oh, we wish we do, but.
I don't know if
There's
it would
certain
be
things-
sticky to throw out that Colliers, wasn't it
I
Colliers?
have no problem. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that and just giving that kind of range.
Yeah.
Give them a feel.
But it would also have to be said that this isn't, could be higher, could be lower.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they probably will bring up the sprinkler part of it, right? Just because that's kind of new to that. So you probably definitely want to identify that as, you know,
But
two options, yeah.
But we're gonna wait on that, yeah.
We're not asking for the sprinkler proposal
Right.
to be approved. We're not asking for that money.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, they might think kind of future, like you said, how much the total project would cost, right?
Right,
They might say, all right, well, what are we, you know, what is that?
Right, yeah. So we don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
what the sprinkler component is.
Yeah, I don't, you guys have way more experience, obviously, than Roger and I, but, I don't know, I'm a little hesitant to throw numbers out there that are kind of just all speculation.
Yeah.
because People hear numbers.
I wouldn't.
And they,
That's fair.
yeah,
Okay.
but again, I would take your advice.
So who would be,
But again, I mean, regardless of the numbers, then it still needs to be done, right? So that's the reality,
Right.
whether
That's
it's.
how we're gonna get to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
numbers.
yeah. So I mean, the project, I'm sure they realize the state of the building, right? So.
And then I think we stress that we gotta keep going. We can't just do this again
Yeah.
and wait on it. We've gotta get it, we gotta keep moving it along
Yeah,
so that we're going to be coming back with, you know, more money depending on
Right.
what we get. And I think if you create a short, I think the short PowerPoint slideshow, John could probably do it. He doesn't even have to come in person. He could be on Google Meets.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
wouldn't, you know, if you're away, then it's hard for you to
So to your
Sometimes
point,
you don't know what signing into a
Is
meeting.
that okay, John, to do that?
Yep, I'm available next week for anything. So whatever works.
Yeah, what works for you is as far as like you can be there in person and do it, or you can do it from Google Meets. And because I was just saying to Eric, wherever he's going to be, he doesn't know what kind of situation he'll be in. Will he have any kind of good connection? Will you be able to do it? Yeah, maybe you can get in, but I would have him ready to PowerPoint.
Yeah, we'll assume, yeah.
I guess to your point, I mean, did any conversation come up at the select meeting that you might want to add a slide to the PowerPoint for that, like questions they had that you might not have thought of? I didn't list the meeting itself. Yeah.
Nothing came to mind, no, nothing comes to mind.
Other than the funding piece where you talked about, it seemed like they thought we might have had something, but we didn't or something.
You know what I think I would do, Tom, based on what you just said, I think I kind of agree, let's not put numbers out there, so I think we'll take this slide out. But if they really press, I don't feel, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable giving them an envelope and saying, well, you know, we had an estimate for design that ranged from 41,000 to 175,000, so that's a pretty big range. And
But that's just the
construction,
design.
and then the construction was $500,000 to $2 million, more or less.
Right.
So,
Oh,
I
that's
mean-
fine. Yeah, that a range like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In 2019 numbers. or-
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Their eyeballs
So,
will
but,
sit
right,
around in there.
yeah, but I don't want to put that up on the screen, but I think.
But I'm sure they understand, like they
0 to 3 trillion.
And if you would have done it then, if you would have done it then, it would be a lot less than what it's gonna be now. They just kicked the
Well,
can down.
but a lot of them have been on that commission a while, so I'm sure they realize the cost of things, right? Like
Yeah.
Nick's involved in that industry, right? So he would know that, you know,
Yeah,
I don't think any numbers would scare him that much.
yeah. Yeah, so. Okay, so, we'll do that. This is basically just, you know, I won't go through it now that you guys saw this
Yeah,
back in
and it's
June.
on the shared drive.
Yeah, it's on the
Everybody
shared
can-
drive.
Everybody can check it out. Well, it's gonna be
Basically-
you, maybe him, but I can come too, just in case it's gonna be back up and,
That might be helpful.
no, I was planning, I have it on my
Okay.
calendar.
Okay.
Okay, so it'll be Nancy, John, Tom. I'm gonna try to, go on also. So
Okay, that should be.
it'll be the
between
fearsome
all of
threesome.
us. We should have enough brain power to, answer any questions.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that's a good idea to have those like 10 focus slides to give a quick history, because you're right. And if Brad is, someone's gonna say, well, I thought this was years ago.
done, yeah.
Yeah,
Say, well, it wasn't done, and now the roof is worse,
Yeah.
So we gotta do something, because I think it's important, somebody mentioned is $2 to $3 million worth of trucks and equipment, and if the roof fails, who's gonna,
mhm,
say,
yeah,
so I think that should be added too, because there is a risk of failure of the roof system.
oh, yeah, absolutely, and that's in the presentation.
Right.
We did say that from the beginning.
So I think that that's very good.
Yeah.
And it's on slides, and Jonathan can reinforce that, and it's in black and white, it's not that someone's making that up, so.
Yeah. Now, is there when the board of selectmen has done this a bunch of times, I don't always remember this. So once you go to the board of selectmen and they approve it and it has to go to the board of finance, does the board of selectmen send something to the board of finance saying, hey, guys, you're gonna
Well,
get
that's
this?
kind of what my experience has been. I guess
Yeah.
when I first came here, I naively kind of assumed that there was a
Back and
download
forth.
of information
Yeah.
from Board of Selectmen and Board of
Yeah.
Finance. My experience, there really kind of isn't, and that's why I say you kind of have to start from zero, start from scratch.
But does the board of selectmen at least say to the board of finance, we're sending this to you, you
Well,
gotta.
it's on the agenda.
I mean, it's on the agenda.
So somebody had
There's
to
no
say,
agenda yet, but it'll be on the
Right,
agenda.
right.
I mean, I know that they do have conversations with each other,
So that
you
they
know,
know to put it
offline.
on the agenda, so that,
Oh,
It should-
well, no, I'm
so
saying
does
like,
Mary send it, you think, to the,
yeah,
Well,
Mary
probably-
gets everything
Okay.
vetted through Nick Ellis, the chair of the
Good.
Board of Finance.
okay, that's all, that's
The
all. I was-
agenda. But in terms of like
Yeah.
actual, I mean, when it gets into all the details and the backstory,
Not that.
they don't have
No.
time. Some
No.
maybe really hot topics get discussed offline.
But some of them might know, but not all of them, right?
Right,
Like Nick
right.
might have an idea or something, or because he's the chairman, but like
Exactly.
the other, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, I'm just wondering what's, if there was something that went from the board of selectmen somebody, so Mary to Nick, and then it'll get on the agenda,
Yeah,
just to make
but-
sure, yeah.
You know, it ranges from on the one end, it's just an item on the agenda that they've never seen before to
Right,
also on the agenda, we're gonna have, we're buying a plow and a frame and
Right.
some emergency lights for the new highway superintendent truck that we
yes,
bought.
that's what you
Nick
talked about
Ellis
last
is
night.
very familiar with that because he got involved in some of the planning and purchasing that, so
Right,
that's the other end of the spectrum where I know it's everything on it. So,
right, right, yeah, that's what you talked about
Yeah.
last night.
So who's gonna say, that the Board of Selectmen did approve not to exceed 25 grand? For these two proposals, if someone has,
but we could say that, but we,
Or
you know.
Tom-
or Tom, no, I'm just saying, somebody has to.
Yeah, right, are we leading the meeting essentially, or is
Well, I think because at the Board of
the
Selectmen meeting,
presentation?
the proposals came from the commission. So I think as the commission, one of us should start with the Board of, here we have these two proposals, they should get the proposals.
Yeah, they get the proposals
And
and
the
the documents.
documents,
They should
so,
get the minutes from the Board of Selectmen, which say,
Yes, say
Board
that,
of
We
Selectmen
approved it, blah, blah,
recommended
blah. so
X
much.
because
dollars.
we approved it to the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Selectmen approved it to you. Kind of something like that.
Okay.
And we have some further information to help you with your, thinking about this. Jonathan can do the slideshow and then they can ask questions, something like that.
Okay.
That sound?
Yeah.
I'll assume that no one from the Board of Selectmen will be there.
They don't think they will,
Generally,
they
they don't.
generally they don't.
Yeah.
I think if it was a big, huge, like, we're gonna renovate a school to the tune of
Yeah, $40 million.
$25 million or
Yeah.
something like that.
Gotcha.
I think it would be a bigger, they might have a joint meeting and discuss it or whatever, so, yeah. And they might even have a joint meeting with, just like with the roof, the school roof projects. Board of Ed, the Board of Finance, and the Board of Selectmen had a joint meeting, all three of them. Because that's what Dr. Carver talks about, and she talked about this too, with us, that they did that, and then they went, and did the RFP, and
Well, Roger, I'm trying to remember what we did for the Colonial Drive drainage study, but we got the Board of Selectmen to approve it,
Yes.
and then Board of Finance. And,
Yeah,
I don't know if you were at
I wasn't,
those
no, I
meetings.
wasn't, I
no,
was only at the Board of Selectmen,
okay,
you and Jonathan and
yeah.
some neighbors and stuff did present the information and the flood dam, what.
You weren't at the Senate, at the Finance? Board of Finance?
No, I don't
Okay.
recall.
But anyway, it's a similar thing. We
Okay.
kind of had to do the same.
Yeah, procedure,
Yeah,
step by step.
we kind of have to do the same spiel.
Would it be possible, and I know that you and Jonathan are busy, to maybe have those 10 slides ready by Friday?
Yeah, we'll have to.
Send,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because Monday you're closed and then Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or at least by Tuesday morning, I'm just saying, so just so
We should have. it by
Nancy and
Friday.
Tom and we can all look at it.
I mean, I pretty much have them here. I just crossed off the ones that didn't want. And then
Okay,
there's,
Just edit, cut
Yeah.
and paste a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that have to go to the Board of Finance or just Jonathan will present it?
I would
On
prefer
Don't
we
send
just
it to
present
them,
it on.
yes.
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
yeah. I think
Does that
would
need to be an
best.
agenda? That document would need to be a part of the agenda for like the public to view, or how does that, okay?
No, it doesn't have to be in advance. We can always provide it. What I've done in the past, and I don't think this violates any rules because
No.
nobody said anything to me, is I've presented, it wasn't provided in advance, but then they might say, oh, can we get a copy of that for the record after the meeting? That's happened once or twice, but sometimes nobody even asked, just presented it. So I don't think it's a problem.
So that presentation you gave to us currently does not exist on a shared file. You guys will have.
It is.
Oh, it is.
No, it's on the shared drive.
Yeah,
But it's multiple slides. It's probably.
yeah, it's 20 slides, 20,
20
exactly
slides.
20 slides.
And he's got to
cut it down.
Yep.
like that.
Okay, sure. But it exists, so I could review it tomorrow if I really
Yeah.
wanted. Yeah. Gotcha.
Right. So we're done with that. I wanted to talk about something else I wanted to discuss with you guys, which kind of ties into sort of the final slides on this. So if you remember what we had done is we had three proposals. We had the architectural and engineering assessments, which is bringing forward. And then those would then lead to architectural and engineering design at some point in the future. But we did already have a proposal for the sprinkler reduction. So kind of how we got to this point, if you remember, we had this insurance that we were trying to get you to agree to, and we wouldn't agree to some condition. And so I had suggested, let's put the sprinkler thing on the shelf, the design, and let's just move these two assessments, architectural and engineering.
Right, that the roof and the steel assessed.
Right, so that's what we're doing. Now, as a follow-up to that, and I know, Tom, we had kind of talked about this over email a little bit. I said I was gonna talk to all three Garys, Gary Tarantino, the architect, Gary Carello, the engineer, and then also coincidentally, the sprinkler guy is also Gary. It's easy to remember, Gary Dupio.
The three Garys.
So, and I just uploaded this email. So I have an email from Gary Tarantino. So let me back up here. So I emailed all three of them, and I said, this is after we kind of worked out the insurance exceptions. And I said, okay, for design phase, and I sent them this table. For workers' comp, we need 500,000. For general liability, we need $1 million. Auto, we need $1 million. Umbrella, $1 million. And professional liability / errors and omissions, we need $1 million. And I said, are you guys cool with this? Because we want to go to design and we don't have to go to an RFP and start over. So Tarantino said, yes, this is acceptable. And I know Tom and Roger, you were on that email. I also printed the email and I put the PDF in the drive, just accepted it. Same thing with Torello. He said, yes, no objections. Printed that email to me. Now, so I just got an email from Gary DeLippo
The
from
sprinkler
the sprinkler.
proposal.
Now, this is what he says. So we don't need the cyber anymore. That was not necessary, but he said, start here. We understand that the $1 million umbrella liability is required. In checking with our carrier, we estimated the annual policy premium is $1,000 plus or minus, plus cost, interest, blah, 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 which will be about $10,000, which in essence is more than our engineering fee. We have been a professional engineering corp for 45 years, completed over 2,500 design projects with construction costs ranging from $100,000 to $50 million, and we're never required to provide umbrella coverage. So I'm kind of at my wit's end here. I don't know if anybody here has ever worked in insurance or has a family member or friend that does, because I'm kind of pulling my hair out. So
is
that's what I want to kind of discuss with you
Is
guys.
this is what's being required by Burma?
Mela?
Yeah, so it's coming from Kerma and our insurance, the insurance guy, Jason,
That's Kerma.
He's not-
He's
yeah,
an
he's-
agent. He's like
yeah,
a-
he's not,
He's like a broker. type
yeah,
of,
he's like a broker
yeah.
guy. He's
Right.
not directly Kerma, but he's.
Right, right.
And Melody. And, you know, from this sort of ringer we went through, this last time, I know that they're not, obviously they're not familiar with this world of engineering design, but I mean, this just kind of,
They should be.
I'm kind of baffled by this, that these guys are saying they've never required to provide it. You know, it's,
Well,
I
if they've
just kind of
done
want to
job
throw it out
40
for discussion.
$40 million sprinkler, maybe a big building, they must have huge insurance. I mean, that's.
Well, they
Yeah, I
have
mean,
insurance,
no,
but
I
they
know
don't
that.
have
I'm
an
a little
umbrella
bit
policy,
surprised.
which is different.
Right.
Yeah.
It's different.
What are they asking for? $1 million umbrella?
So that's the only
Well,
issue
we
is
are-
the
we
umbrella.
are.
Yeah.
It's the umbrella. So there's workers' comp, there's general liability, auto, umbrella, and professional liability. Now, professional liability, obviously, that's, I understand that. That's, you know, the world I come from. You need that. If you're going to design anything, if
Right.
blueprints, you
If
need
something
that.
goes, oops.
My understanding from talking to the insurance, so Melanie and the insurance broker came and spoke to us and tried to explain a little bit. My understanding, and again, I'm not an insurance expert, of this umbrella is it's some kind of like extra on top of general liability. That may be why they don't have it. I really don't
understand how they.
Yeah,
pay.
the
Is the-
occurrence,
So
if the
fences-
issue exceeds their liability,
Yeah.
then it goes.
Is their liability
Yeah.
higher?
Yeah.
Maybe like what's their liability there? A million? Or do they have a higher number themselves? Maybe
The
they'll
umbrellas only
have
pick
the
up
umbrella.
if your liability isn't high enough.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Is
would
there-
need it if you're.
Is their liability
high
like is
additional
that
coverage? if
2
you do a large
million and we
job.
require 1 million? I mean, is the total the same?
And sometimes there's a combination. You could have a 2 and a 1 or a 1 and a
Well,
2. and
yeah.
that-
Yeah, I mean, so this is the tape, so this table here, I don't have a copy for everybody, but it's basically from so what, the insurance broker and Melanie gave me was like a document, or like a legal document for them to sign, and it's basically a bunch of language that lists this out. So if I go through in detail, for general liability, for instance, it says 1 million per occurrence, bodily injury and property damage, 1 million per occurrence, personal and advertising injury, 2 million general aggregate, 2 million products and completed operations aggregate. I mean, this is kind of Greek to me. I don't really know. I'm just kind of passing this on.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really
right.
know what it means.
So who's got, individual people get umbrella policies for
Yeah, I
themselves?
I have one. I
or
don't think
their
it's
home.
$10,000 a year.
And people who have, more like if you have a,
Like if you want to rent
Well,
Bennett
that's
Park, you have
not-
to get one.
It might be like
you have a
$500.
boat, or you have a, it's like.
Well, if you
Yeah.
want to rent like Bennett Park, you have to have an umbrella policy.
Right,
Typically, it's if you're a company and you're going to do a project and your insurance doesn't meet their minimum, instead of just raising your insurance
Right,
forever, you buy the umbrella
Yeah.
just for that project to cover you up to that
Mhm.
amount.
right, so it seems like it's overkill, the umbrella would be overkill for that. And I think that we need to figure out, how do we get,
We could go
Like,
back to
he's the
Melanie and the
broker.
insurance guy and say,
they've got
is
to
that
come up
okay?
with something that's, reasonable for small, because you're gonna keep running into this.
How did the
Oh,
school do it with
Everything
the,
is a
so-
little person's
But wait a minute,
out
this
there
is
in
just-
public
Tom, how
work.
did the school do it with us just doing
No,
this?
no, this was the guy.
It might not have been a
who was gonna,
requirement at that
um,
point,
the
though,
sprinkler
right?
was gonna
Sprinkler
design the
design.
sprinkler
We
No,
just
no.
requested to have
He's gonna
No, no,
design
plans
the
done for the
sprinklers.
roof and the whole
Okay, left
design
one,
and all that.
He has to assess.
This
what
insurance
the
thing never came up.
So.
Oh, those companies are
I got it.
well beyond.
I got it.
Oh, is that what it is? These guys are falling short?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't hire it.
So
What
I-
do you mean with that?
So 2 comments. One is they're basically saying that if you want to use them, they're going to increase their bid by about $10,000
Yeah,
effectively.
Which is more than what they were gonna.
yeah. they're
Which
gonna
is-
double
which-
their bid.
The bid is $10,000.
Or we could ask if we can somehow waive this umbrella for this. I don't
I don't think
Why is the
that's,
umbrella
I don't think that's going
requirement
to
is what
happen.
we were
I
looking to-
kind of agree with you, so
Yeah.
that's why I kind of.
I feel like every to that, but I think, but we haven't gone down the road with these guys yet either.
No,
So we could
haven't.
always open that up.
Well, that's the other thing is we could just go to an RFP for design and just put it out to everybody. And in which case the RFP Melanie would definitely make sure.
Just for the sprinkler portion? That
I mean,
No.
well, so
I was thinking just for sprinklers.
Yeah.
we could.
Because that's where they're going to start to see the reality of this. A company like DiFilippo
Mhm,
at whatever his proposal was, $8,000
mhm,
versus a company that has a $2 million umbrella proposing at $20,000.
mhm.
So they're going to see that difference. And if they want to pay that extra because they want the insurance, and that's effectively up to the board of selectmen and Melanie.
Yeah. So I just wanted to,
But maybe it makes sense to check with Melanie first and the agent you're talking to, just to say,
Yeah.
here's what we're running into. And
might as well, yeah. it doesn't
they might say, oh, well, like, yeah.
Well, we said that before.
Well, I know, I mean, I'm kind of with Tom, I'm expecting a no on this.
Yeah.
But, it
But
doesn't.
there has to be something between Kerma and, and
I
Melanie is
know.
asking for it, because Kerma's asking for it. Kerma's gonna be the town insurance policy coverage, whatever, for all the town buildings and stuff and things, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
Kermit's does all our insurance,
And
as
all
far as I'm
the
aware.
schools and everything, yeah.
Sure.
So if that's gonna be the case, I know you guys, I didn't get to the one meeting that they had about insurance stuff. There was a couple of you, that I think you went on, either you were in person.
No,
or
we
you
were
not.
there.
Oh, yeah, you guys were
And
there
the
too,
gentleman
right?
was
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah. That's Jason, yeah.
And.
It was so general though, it
I know.
wasn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't even helpful.
But remember, he said he had like 10 templates
Yes.
and then we're gonna look at other, could
This-
we do
this is one of
something?
those templates.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so he was gonna send 5 of them or something, and then Melanie was gonna say yes, no, or whatever.
Yeah, we got those. That's what this is
Oh, okay,
based on.
okay.
But if Public Works, Department of Public Works has to hire individuals, companies to do little jobs, small jobs, big jobs, whatever. What's being
Well-
required right now for what's going on over it?
Well, as an example, if you clean out storm drains, right, I mean, the Vector truck comes and blah, 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 blah. Do they have to have, $1 million?
Well, isn't there
Clean out
something,
storm drain, I mean, that doesn't
I'm
make
not
sense.
gonna answer that question on the record, but,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
we get things done. So.
Yeah,
because isn't there a
okay.
proposal too for landscape, like Tom Kane landscaping, isn't there a proposal, right, the Board of Finance or something, the first selectman for stuff around town with different things he's working on? It was on the agenda, I think, right, for the.
This is a minefield.
That's fine, yes.
Okay.
I just
well,
saw the things, I saw the things going
Let me put it
forward,
this
yeah,
way.
yeah.
For design, my concern personally is the professional liability for design. The umbrella to me is not, I mean, I'll ask them, I'll ask Melanie, if you guys think it's worth it. I just, it's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like,
are you at-
Yeah,
I mean, I
sense
can
your
see- I can
frustration,
see
yeah.
if the sprinkler guy, if he doesn't have a lot of coverage, he designs the sprinkler system, it gets installed, and something goes wrong with the sprinkler system, floods the building.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's an install problem, insurance problem, or if it's a design install problem.
Professional
but-
insurance will
Right.
probably cover that.
Right, but where you saying, where we have $4 million worth of trucks, his liability is not gonna cover that, and that's why they want the umbrella.
Right.
I could see that,
Right, yeah.
and so for
But
10,
can you
that,
have one or the other?
Look, I don't know how they've done.
I'm-
all this
I'm
work
spe- I'm
for
speaking a
45
little
years
bit
and never
out
had
of-
to do it. I don't know why we're suddenly the ones who are demanding all this stuff. I'm kind of.
But maybe Kermit's doing it. I don't know if you have heaps in other towns. that you
Kermit's
talk
doing
to
it
and
because
ask
the
what's
roof
Kermit
fires.
doing.
I
There's a
thought
lot
he
of other
said
towns.
we're doing that. Didn't you say that?
Kermit's doing it because of the roof fires.
That
Yeah, exactly, yeah, we know why.
Doing that more across the board to Connecticut, and I
Maybe.
thought he said something about some other town.
Well,
Maryland or
New
something.
Milford, the roof caught
Well,
fire several
that's-
times in the
yeah,
high
but
school,
come on.
like.
but he was saying it's two different things. He said, we want a one size fits all, but we know that's not gonna work. And
Yeah, so he
And I didn't-
knows that it's,
Yeah, I didn't feel like he gave a satisfactory
no,
answer.
it was very general.
we didn't
Couple
run,
cases.
we didn't run into this on the high school roofs yet, because those are huge companies and they have huge policies.
So I guess again, so if they need that, then his quote is 20,000, not 10,000, right?
Right.
Basically, yeah.
That's the quote, right? So at the end of the day, right?
So if we have to go to 2 other sprinkler companies or 3 other sprinkler companies and get,
Other
So,
bids to show.
and then the.
I mean, companies with
the thing
those
you have to
kinds of
think about
insurance
too
policies
is-
are gonna charge more because their overhead is
Yeah.
more.
Right.
So, I mean,
Really.
that's, I mean, it's,
Right.
The town says that what they need and that's what they would charge. That's the.
Right, and I think that.
we're only
with-
shooting
with-
ourselves in the foot by
Yeah.
doing this.
with
We're paying for it,
really
yeah.
large-
right,
With really large projects where we know the cost is gonna be generally put out an RFP. If it's under a certain amount, sometimes you can just put out a request for some quotes or whatever. Like if you know companies,
Mhm,
you can ask 3 of them or 4 of them to
Mhm.
put together quotes and I think, right? Have we done that before? Yeah,
It's gotta be under a certain amount, right?
what's that?
Doesn't it have to be under a certain amount.
Usually if it's under $50,000.
I thought the threshold was lower for that, but all right.
No, if it's over $50,000, we have to have 3.
Yes,
Yeah,
If it's under, you don't have to get 3.
but we still could.
You still could,
Yeah,
yeah,
just to-
absolutely.
And
Just
if
to
you-
reinforce
and
that,
if
that
part
these
of
are the
the,
costs.
right, and if you're putting out an RFP, then you got all that information in, but that's a lot of work and a lot of
We do,
writing and, but if
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
still letting them
yeah.
know, these are the requirements that you have to fill with insurance, then we start getting huge costs back because of the insurance. It's crazy.
yeah. So this just popped into my head because it came up on the other part of the meeting. Are we gonna have to get another huge builder's risk policy at $30,000 to do this roof?
is that what legal is requiring for schools?
So,
For the
well,
HVAC?
for the HVAC project, we were told we had to buy, the town had to pay for extra builder's risk insurance. We paid a $7,500
Yeah.
Premium. And then a couple months later, they come back and they go, oh no, it's gotta be more, it's gotta be more coverage, so now you gotta pay us $30,000 per month on top of the seven.
Yeah, so this would probably be the same.
And
Because the
there's,
project wasn't big enough essentially to absorb
Yes,
the.
if they
risk.
burn the whole building down.
Right.
yes,
So that's gonna happen here because the
Yeah,
building is
probably.
worth way
Yeah.
more than $1 million.
because like with the school projects with, 65 million or whatever, the two schools, the town was able to absorb the cost because the builder's risk.
We were basically rebuilding the entire
Yes,
building,
and
so it was
the-
covered.
And so the cost of what the building would have been if there was a problem, whatever, was gonna be a lot lower than if it were newer.
Because of the scope of work. There was
Yes.
so much work being done that
Yes.
if they did damage, their
Yes.
insurance would have to cover it anyway and just
Yes.
rebuild the school. But with
Yes,
the HVAC,
yes,
they were only covered for the scope of the work they were doing.
yes.
So that number, if something catastrophic happened, they could never recoup the money from that insurance. So we had to change ours. We had to get a builder's risk.
Right, so when we budget this, as we get further, we're gonna have to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stay focused. So for the meeting on Tuesday, we're pretty much focused between Jonathan and our
Yeah.
group going on that. When would the sprinkler proposal after, so you're gonna talk to Melanie maybe one more time
Yeah,
and say, look, we just explained that this is what the people, or show her the letter that came on back from, and to say, instead of $5,000 or $6,000, now it's gonna be 15, just to do the design work. Not even the installation's extra. And so instead of double, triple the cost of projects, is it warranted all the time? I guess is what.
yeah.
I think the good thing is it's early enough. We're not even.
Yeah, this-
Yeah, no, this was me looking ahead.
Yeah.
because-
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is early.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we could still go, we could still get more bids. We could still iron this out. But
Yeah. So yeah, I'll ask Melanie, maybe she'll say, oh, umbrella, whatever. Doubtful, but, and then we can immediately go to Reed Fire Protection, which is a local company
no, I know Charlie.
that.
Yeah, Charles,
Yeah,
but he's doing the Matrix
Or
building.
son.
That's pretty big.
we can go straight to them and we'll give them the insurance thing and say, can you do this insurance?
Right.
You know,
I'm,
absolutely.
I'm sure he's covered. He's doing the Matrix right now, that whole building. So it's
Okay.
a significant.
So-
project.
That company said they do anywhere from what, 40,000 to
Wow.
50
He's
million, so
doing,
they.
he's doing, I think, where they want to put all these
Right, I'm
apartments.
just doing the
I
design.
just don't-
He's doing, I know he's up there working. Last time I talked to him, he said it's a 3-year
He may
project.
do Installation, I don't know if he does the design. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But again, it all comes down to so we're the owners, so it's our insurance tax thing. If he's working for a general contractor at the Matrix, it could be a huge project, but if they're not asking for the same insurance, you may
Right,
not have it.
right.
So,
Yeah.
who
knows?
So who knows? Yeah.
Right. So we'll do that and we can get some of that.
Again, they will do it. They will just charge more than.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be then charging us an extra 10 grand for him to have this umbrella insurance for
Which,
the
again,
next 5
Yeah,
years.
we're basically buying.
Doesn't make any sense, but that's what the,
Yeah.
that's what the, for whatever reason, that's what the town requires.
I mean, is that a new trend in building where you have to cover something for 5 years?
Well, I think
Something
what's,
goes wrong.
what John was saying, well, we only need it for 3 years, our contract, so maybe it's only 6,000. I assuming he's getting this from his insurance broker who's saying,
Right.
I don't know if it has to be 5 years. I don't know what the deal is.
I mean, that's one way to propose it. Should the taxpayers of Bethel be buying insurance for these private companies? Because,
Yeah.
so we can do small projects.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you. So,
So I have a question
Oh,
though,
okay.
I'm gonna go on the Board of Finance, all that. So the two proposals from, Torello and
Tarantino.
gives us an assessment. And then are they gonna then give us a design, or are we then gonna have to go out and ask
Well,
bids on a design,
so
given that
well-
assessment, sending that a report out along with an RFP saying,
that was the purpose of me asking them if they're okay with these design insurance requirements for the next phase.
Yes.
So if we wanted to just go straight to Tarantino and Trello and say, give us a proposal for the design, you got the job, more or less.
right, and if it's under a certain amount, you don't have
Yeah.
to do a whole,
You
yeah.
got, you know, as long as you got crazy number, you
Right.
got the job.
Right, right.
But with this, so this sprinkler guy is also doing a little bit of MEP work for the architecture. So it's kind of tied in. And so when I was looking at the whole thing, I was looking at all three
Got it.
as one design thing.
Right, right.
MEP, just tell me what.
Mechanical, electrical,
Oh,
electronic.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
my Color Ronin, I think, is an MEP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So as part of the architecture, there's a couple of like roof penetrations, little details. It's not a lot of work. But the MEP needs to do stuff.
Right.
And then this MEP will also do sprinklers. So I don't know, that's another complication. If we go to Reeve, I don't know if Reeve does MEP or if they just strictly do sprinklers. So that could be
You could have a
something.
plumbing division.
So I know it would be simpler for Tarantino if we went with, this sprinkler company, because they'd also do the MEP. So that was the way I was hoping we could go.
Now, with all that, we only did a walkthrough of the highway garage. That solar farm with all of the conduit and stuff, they never did anything on the roof, right? It came in from the underground building and then it was all.
It's hung from the roof.
It's hung from it.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's hung from the
Yeah.
structure.
It's hung from the structure, which is the roof.
Inside,
It's
though.
holding the roof up, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
I don't think there's
no
any roof
penetration,
penetrations.
but it's being
Yeah. it's in
supported by the
trusses,
trusses.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Speaking of solar, every other roof in this town seems to be getting solar. Is it a thought to put it on the highway garage?
Yeah, it wasn't
No.
until this moment.
Well, with the solar farm like right next to it.
Okay.
Well, the roof, the high school kind of,
Figure that out.
they stopped with the high school, they're not gonna bother, that's been scrapped, right? What other roofs?
Well,
For
I think
now.
it was, I don't know, some proposal came out of somewhere and they talked about it and I don't know where it's gone.
But there's something to consider though, I guess, the future look, I guess, could it even, I mean, do you look at it now, let's say 20 years, they
Right.
want to put solar on the
Yeah.
roof? Does that make
Yeah.
sense to kind of,
We could certainly tell, Gary Burton design, hey, what would it be? He could probably at least give us a ballpark, like, oh, well, that's gonna be an extra so much more money to construct.
yeah, it's probably not, some
know.
people, yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't complicate it if it's not.
Yeah, I think that's
on the
just like
agenda.
muddying the
Just how do you-
waters.
how do
I
you
think the
design
roof
for a
needs to
solar
get
system
done.
for 20 years?
Well, that's true.
No, I just mean if the structure is going to support that, that's all. I guess what,
Yeah, I guess, but it's still kind of an unknown.
yeah.
And you could give them some spec for some current system.
And then
and
5
say
years from
design
now,
for
it'll
that.
be heavier, lighter, or whatever,
Right.
so, yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
kind
right now.
of don't want to complicate it either.
All right, hopefully that question's not asked.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just wrap it up right now. So possibly by Friday, you and Jonathan will make 8 or 10 slides.
Mhm.
You'll copy us, put it on the drive. And then Jonathan will be there one way, either in person or on
Yeah.
video. At least 2 to 3 may be there or whatever to present. So we will propose that. Jonathan will give a background. Try to answer any other questions. And in the sprinkler portion of this, we're gonna have to go back to Melanie or something and just say, by the way, share, instead of the 5 or 6,000, we plus another 10. So the taxpayers have to pay 15 instead of that for,
Mhm.
do we really need this extra umbrella? I guess is what we got.
Okay.
Right? I mean, anybody,
No, that's,
we could talk about this all night.
and if
I'm
we
just
think
trying
that's
to
too,
get
if we
going.
think that's too high, then you have to go through some sort of RFP, I guess, for that part of it, right? Just to see if,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid.
yeah,
going out.
yeah, no, I understand, but that's yeah.
And when we do go out to our,
They could all be the same, they could all be the $15,000, you don't know, because of the
Well,
insurance.
that's true.
What are you gonna do if they draw the line and say, this is it? then that's the cost. And then they have to,
But I think if they
there's a
keep,
risk of sprinkler or no sprinkler.
if they keep hearing the feedback though about this issue you're running into, then eventually maybe they'll say, all right, well, you need to figure something out. If they're constantly getting emails or calls about this issue with the insurance.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's just us and
Yeah.
we're in this position where
Well,
Irma is kind of being unreasonable, or
So-
if this is a trend,
I wonder if
everyone's
there's
going
a,
this way. I don't really know.
Yeah, like the tennis courts, they renovated the tennis courts. Did they have to get, I mean, that's different, I guess, because it's a tennis court. That was what, $500,000 project or something? Like there's so many things that happen
Yeah.
around town that I would think, but the potential's there, right? So.
I mean, I think it's a trend with everything. What I'm seeing in my business, it's going that way. Umbrellas are going up, and general liability is going up, the occurrence limits are going up, and the costs are going up. So across the board.
Along with the cost of materials and labor and
Yeah.
everything else. Well, thank you for your time. Yeah, that was
thanks.
super. And, have a nice time out of town, but we'll check with Jonathan with anything.
Yep.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, thanks.
Anything else, Jonathan, that you want to add?
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
Thank
All
you.
right. Anytime. Have a good evening. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, this is really early.
What time did you guys get out last night?
Oh, yeah.
It's
They
like
went into,
10:15.
yeah, they
It's
went
like a
into an
P&Z
executive
meeting, huh?
session and people were leaving. I don't know how long. Well,
I ended up going to the executive session,
okay. so you
but we
had to
were
stay.
fast. It
Okay,
was
so,
fast.
Yeah,
Where was that held in? A?
right there.
Oh, we just
Oh,
stayed.
oh, right,
right in
okay.
there.
They just kicked everybody out who had to get kicked out and.
People wanted to leave anyway. I don't think
I know.
people were.
Yeah.
Well, that,
But,
I mean, the issue was done already, you know, on that.
Discussed, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much on
Yeah,
that.
thanks, Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take care. Thank you.
see you tomorrow.
Enjoy your weekend.
Pleasure.
Okay, so the Muni Center locker room renovation, we don't really have any other direction. We have, we'll have to table that, but we should get direction by the board of selectmen, do you think, or?
I kind of think we should, just because.
Okay,
Like, we have to sort of look at, sort of priority in a way. Of
Yeah.
Where's.
that, the
where's
animal
money-
shelter, whatever. yeah.
Where's the money getting spent? I don't know. Still would like to have some plans in place so that if there's a possibility of a grant,
Right,
yet if plans are too old, then, you know.
right,
then
the
you
codes
can really-
change. Okay, so we'll have to get better direction. The last thing was, Dan Carter asked, for the charter revisions, if anybody has any comments. Nancy brought something up, and then I think we, spoke about it at the last meeting. We did vote on it. The only issue, was for, how they elect a secretary and a chairperson. I wrote something to, based on what we spoke about, to him, and I just said the paragraph 4 of this states that the commission appoints a chairman and the secretary. Recently, the commissioner, members elected a chair and a vice chairman. If you want to change that or put that in, and the secretary is provided by and paid for by the town. Now, I don't know if they want to change anything, just leave it, and just the
Did
way
they-
it is.
think it works.
did he get back to you about the question about, like, what are they planning to do? Like, is there some, I mean, the charter revision questions that we're gonna vote on in November are already on the ballot. So,
Yes,
I
so
don't know
maybe
what
this
else
is
to-
academic. I don't know.
I don't know. I asked him, you asked him. I haven't heard anything back. You
No, I
heard anything
havened, I
What's-
sent it to
what's
him
the
and Mary and
urgency?
everybody just to
Right.
push it through. you
What's
know?
the urgency? You know, you need it by a certain time. I didn't hear anything. And then you asked too, like,
Yeah,
what do we need to do? What are we gonna do? So they haven't heard anything, so I don't think there's any immediacy to it.
When the ballots get printed.
They've already done something. Well, the FP ballots are already printed because they were available last Friday. They have to be available the week before, a month before the election, and then early voting starts on the 20th. So they're in the process. So you had to, charter questions, you had to have those questions to the Secretary of State by the beginning of September. so that they knew what questions you were putting on the ballot. And then the company had to, the company that programs the tabulators and the company that prints the ballots had to get together and figure out how they were gonna fit those questions on the ballot.
What
Which is
space?
interesting looking, but it's gonna be, a long size ballot, but the questions are all right there on both sides. And the questions are like what the Charter Revision Commission came up with, and then it went through the Board of Selectmen, and they chose which things to make into questions, and then it was, I don't know if it was Melanie or some legal person. Well, Nick Beatty was their lawyer, somebody put questions together, so. I don't think they're changing that, but I don't know what they're looking for here specifically, so, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
No,
As far as
no.
our agenda goes, do we continue talking about the charter revision?
Probably not.
Or you take that off the
I think
agenda?
we do for now,
Yeah.
unless they come back and say, what else do
Yeah,
you
right.
wanna do?
Yeah, I haven't heard back and I sent this,
Yeah.
last week, so, we'll see what happens on that. Maybe we'll
You
keep
can
it on the
always-
agenda.
No,
or-
you can take it off because you can always put stuff back if they say, oh, we need to do this. If there's something.
Right.
We had a couple of things that we were assigned, but we weren't actively working on them because we were waiting for more direction about where the money was gonna come from or anything like that.
Right.
And then we took it off the agenda for, I don't know, 6 months, and then we put it back on because then it was time to look at the money and do the thing, so.
Okay, any other topics? Anybody want to talk about anything? Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn at 8:27 PM.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, have a nice weekend, everybody, and
Thank you.
we'll talk about
Who are
Tuesday.
you? What's your name?
Mhm.
Welcome to our meeting.
Like to watch people do business.
Okay.
We're thinking about relocating our business here.